Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, the Jets lose a second brutal game in a row. They fall to the Vikings 23-17 in London. They got off to a 17 point deficit early on, came back and lost 23-17. Had a chance at the end, couldn't get it done. Brutal loss.
Mike, it's crazy how fast things can change in 7 calendar days. Think about 7 days ago, I guess with the bye or with the mini bye with the Thursday game. 10 days ago, you're 2-1. Everything looks great. Things are looking up. The offense finally is clicking. The defense is playing great. You're 2-1, 2-0 in the AFC, and then 10 days go by, 2 games, and both teams that you look back, but you could have won those games, and it blows, right? It's the worst feeling ever. But Mike, my biggest takeaway is the Jets are their record. They are a 2-3 football team. They have not played well enough to earn the right to be 3-2. And if Will Levis wasn't an asshole, they could be 1-4. And then you can obviously say, hey, the Greg kick goes in, what happens? But you are what your record is. You are a 2-3 football team. And this team has not played, especially the offense, deserving of being 3-2. It's simple as that.
Yeah, this is the year, Matt, and there's not a lot of wiggle room or time, and it just has to be this team. This is a culmination of our such young guys that we love, like Sauce and Garrett Wilson and Brees, and veterans that are so cool, like Aaron Rodgers and Mike Williams and all these guys and Tyron Smith. And it just feels right. It feels like the right team. And even despite the team coming out flat and playing like shit the last 2 weeks, you still could have won both games, like we said. They didn't really deserve to. Maybe the Broncos game. The defense is playing well, and then the offense can't get it going, and then you have a game where the offense looks pretty good and the defense can't get off the field like the 49er game. So you just can't put it all together. It's a mix of bad coaching for sure. There's also, Matt, bad execution by the players. You have Lazard dropping 3 passes today. Aaron Rodgers missed Garrett Wilson on what would have been a game go-ahead touchdown at the end of this game on a double move. They can't run the ball at all. You can't get a push from the offensive line. Just at 36 yards rushing. So it's very frustrating. It's just so frustrating. It's not supposed to be like this time. Not this time, Matt. Oh,
Yeah, I was sitting in my car after the game, driving around, and I was trying to think of a bad analogy. And it reminds me of when you're in middle school and you're in technology class and they give you the dumb spaghetti to build a bridge. Remember the whole thing? You have to like put things together, have a bridge that can withstand, and you do everything right, and you think it's gonna work. Everything's perfect, all set up, and you build it, and you watch it crumble in front of you. You can't do anything about it. Like that's how it feels. You put together the perfect team in your vision from a roster standpoint, and now it's all going to go up in flames after 5 weeks. Now, I do believe, and this is my main takeaway, I do believe the Jets roster can string together wins. I think they can make a run. The roster can. I think talent-wise across the team, they have the players to do it. Nothing that this coaching staff has shown the fan base says that the coaches can do it. You're getting out schemed every game. You're
yeah.
getting Mike. How many times
I know,
do
but
we
Matt, what
have to
about the
watch?
execution? Sauce. I'm not arguing with you. This is just the main take of everyone is the coaching staff sucks. Sauce Gardner intercept the fucking ball in the end zone. Why do we have 5 defensive pass interference calls against us? That like 4 of them were garbage. Alan Lazard 3 drops and 1 was a touchdown. How about the offensive line opens up a running lane one time? Make a play, somebody.
I,
It's sickening, and I'm sick of hearing about the hack
yeah,
and whatever this and that. It's fine. It's not an unbelievable all-world beating game plan, but it should have been good enough to win the last 2 games, and they can't make a fucking play. Greg Zerline, make a field goal. Jesus Christ. Like, what are we doing? And this is the frustrating thing is the game happened. In both of these last 2 weeks, the game happened, and there are 2 plays at the end of each game that changed the game. The Broncos game, you make a field goal, and you win the game. This game, Aaron Rodgers, our Hall of Fame quarterback, who I will die for, missed Garrett Wilson on a wide open touchdown. That's it. So like the whole game happens, and we want to talk about the coaching staff, and we can't win. We can't win. You win if those things happen. So you can win, and the coaching staff is not exactly helping, and you have to maybe win a little bit in spite of them, but make a play. And I'm so sick of it because these guys have the ability to do it. Just do it. I'm so sick of it. It's been years. Do it. And I believe in them that they're going to do it. But come on.
I completely agree with you. The players are the ones that have to execute the plays that are being called. I will never argue that.
Right.
The team just feels so boring on offense. It feels so flat. There's no movement. And if you're going into a game, it always comes down to the head coach and quarterback combo. Like every playoff team you look at, 14 teams make it. Maybe there's 2 teams that have like a weird head coach quarterback combo that they sneak in, like a shitty Raiders team in the 2015s, right? Like that is fine. But at a point, I go into every game thinking we have a head coach who is not going to be better than the other coach, and we have a quarterback who I will die for as well, 40 years old, getting hit 15 times a game. Like when that happens, you're not going to win a lot of football games. And I agree, the biggest play of the game, if Sauce catches that ball, 7-point swing changes everything. If you put my grandma in the end zone and I sat her on a chair where Sauce Gardner was, 7 out of 10 times she's catching that football. I need that play to happen, and I'm not going to kill Sauce as people have been burying him all day.
Oh, sickening. I can't
He's an
stand
all-world talent.
Dude, it is so sickening. The way that people the reactionary bullshit is I'm so frustrated. And I also just watched the Mets lose a horrific game also, so I'm even more upset. Just to preface, but like because we're recording this at 8 o'clock. It is the Sauce slander is unbelievable, especially the same people that are slandering Sauce are yelling at the officials for making horrible calls. So what is it? Which one is it?
It could be both. It could be Sauce needs to pick that ball off.
Yeah, no, of course Sauce has to pick the ball off, but he had, like it wasn't the all-time horrible game. And if it becomes a horrible game when you have 4 flags against you, but they're all garbage. Stupid.
Can I give you my top 5
shit NFL refereeing?
Can I give you my top 5 reasons why the Jets lost today?
Yes.
In no order. 1, the offense comes out flat. You're down out the gate immediately. It's on the offensive players and the staff. That's number 1. Number 2, the Rodgers pick 6. Yep. Directly after, which goes to my number 3 point, Quincy Williams getting knocked down by Darnold. Going up 7-3 if Quincy takes that to the house, and then 3 plays later, the pick 6 happens. So 7-3 to 10-0, a 14-point swing right there. That moment, soul crushing. And in spite of that, they still had a chance to win. You have the Sauce drop pick, and then why can't I online bring up that the officials are bad without saying, yeah, the Jets maybe didn't earn the win and they didn't play great, and there's a lot of factors why the Jets didn't win, but you could make the argument.
When bad things happen, I don't know what it is. I don't understand this mindset. I don't understand it. The Jet fans have been beat down for many years. I understand it's frustrating. I'm so frustrated, but people get genuinely happy when awful things happen. It's the Frank the Tank mindset, and it makes me nauseous, and I can't stand it. And the reason why I'm so frustrated is because I love the roster. I have conviction that the Jets are going to be good, and they played like garbage last 2 weeks, and you had a chance to win both those games. And if you win those games, people say, oh, good teams figure out a way to win those games, and they pretty much did, and just couldn't execute a play at the end of the game. And now we have to hear all this fucking bullshit, and I'm so sick of it, and I don't want to do it. And I'm getting a million annoying texts, and I want to tell everyone to go fuck themselves. And I'm mad. I'm like actually mad. Fuck everyone. This is a good team. And I don't know what the issue is, but they're going to figure it out. At least we saw the glimpse in the Patriot game, because then it would be more of me spewing on nonsense. This, we saw it. We know it can happen. They have to be able to put it together. I don't want anyone to ever get hurt, but hopefully Josh Allen goes into concussion protocol this week and we can have an easier game against the Bills.
They let him play. Like it's crazy that he went back in that game. But Mike, you're 30% way through the year. You're 30% into it now. Like your sample size is growing. You are what you are, and yeah,
I know.
The New England
they just haven't put it together.
But the New England game, they put everything together. It was a perfect game, top to bottom. And again, people will say New England's the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, they played terrible the last 3 weeks, but they played well week 1 and 2. So New England will always be they might be like a 6-win team this year. You don't want to have your best game against that team. So where are you going to have your best game? And yeah,
Right.
maybe you turn it around Monday night. And Mike, I agree. I think the players are talented. I think you have a talented roster, the most talented roster we've ever seen. We've been saying it for 12 weeks now, and we've been saying it since April that the Jets are the most talented we've ever seen. And you're 30% through, so now you need to put it together. You
You have
can't.
They have to. I agree. They have to. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm annoyed at the team. But also, we just named 5 plays that change the game that are such makeable plays. Quincy Williams, don't fall down because don't touch the string on your foot. Sauce, intercept the ball that is floated at you in the end zone. Aaron Rodgers makes the throw to Garrett Wilson 1,000 times 1,000. Alan Lazard drops a touchdown. Drop here, penalty here, bad penalty against us for no reason on the other side. Like it's like 7 things in these games, and we still can win these games without playing a good football game. 36 yards rushing. Try to kill Aaron Rodgers. Like how did they have a chance to win that game at the end? Because they're a good football team and they're going to figure it out. But I'm just sick of defending it because I'm going to keep defending it, and people can get as negative as they want. If you there should be a certain threshold, and people have been texting me and I want to kill them. There should be a certain threshold that you can't even watch more football games if you say certain things. You should be censored. I'm going Soviet Union, Kamala Harris. You should Kamala Unism. You should not be able to do certain things. They kept playing that ridiculous commercial today. I don't know if you saw it. It was just very funny. I was talking to my buddy about it. I don't want to get political on here, but very very frustrating, Matt. Like,
Mike,
don't text me like, oh, I hate this team. We fucking suck. You want to extend Salah? I'm like, what are you sending me? Don't send me this message. Don't text me anymore. I'm fed up, man. I'm beyond fed up. This is the most frustrated. I put all the eggs into the basket. This is the year. It can't be like this. It cannot. And they are better than this. And they still should have won these games. And then I wouldn't have to hear this shit. And that I don't know if I'm making my message get across because I'm so frustrated because the same game is happening and people will completely change their opinion based on the result that is affected by 1 or 2 plays and not grasping the full game. If that makes sense. I don't know. I'm gonna freak out.
I'm with you, and you and I agree. Since we were 8 years old, on like 99% of things, and I still think we fundamentally agree here. But I'm looking at the Denver game, and I'm looking at the Minnesota game, and there are games that the Jets have lost in 2022 and 2023 where they played really well. Like even the game in Minnesota in 2022 or in Buffalo, like where they play well and they don't get it done. The Jets they have not played well against Denver or Minnesota the past 2
I
weeks. They have
agree.
not. And when you
But if
don't
the
play
Jets
well, though,
if the Jets won those games, which my point is they easily could have, even despite all this shit, people would say the opposite and say the Jets look great and they're 3-2 or 4-1, and we're gonna go to the playoffs. I don't know if they say they played great. They would say that we're 4-1, come get us. Like, look at this great play, look at that great play. No, now it's we suck and Aaron Rodgers is washed and the season is over and it's same old Jets. And I cannot stand it. I can't stand it. I want to be more critical about individual things in games, more thoughtful, less overall thought speak of what's happening online. Let's just follow the trend and say the Jets suck, which is why we started our accounts in the first place to combat that.
yeah, and you have to win. Like I agree with you. Like 2 plays can change 2 games, and you could say that about week 2, and you could say about whatever game. They're two like they have played to this point like a 2-3 football team.
I agree with you,
Holistically.
Matt. I agree with you. But my point is going into the season, people thought this was going to be a great team.
Yep.
And based on like what has happened in these games, I do not think that that is wrong or they can't get to that point. And people saying this season is over and this team sucks and Rodgers is washed and same old Jets, I get upset with. I get frustrated with because there are very fixable things going on in these games. We just named 6 of them from this game. That it's like you have all pro players who aren't doing normal things, and it's very frustrating. But do I think Sauce can catch a ball thrown right at him? Yes. So I think the Jets are going to play better moving forwards. Do I think Aaron Rodgers will throw 3 interceptions next week? No. So I think the Jets will get better. Should Alan Lazard drop 3 balls? He probably actually will drop 3 balls again. He's an asshole. Like, but have an opinion about it. Not just say the Jets suck in general, or it's same old Jets, or we're garbage, or it's never going to get better. No, have a conversation about the whole thing that happened.
Yeah.
Is more normal behavior, and
I,
I'm beyond fed up.
I'm with you. I mean, there's a lot of over the top season
No,
overtakes. It's
it's
obviously
every person. It's not, and it's every single person.
well,
Everyone.
I think people are really frustrated that you lost 2 games. Your offense looked terrible, right? And the other thing about the offense is everyone's healthy. Like your right tackle is hurt, and you drafted a guy at 11 to plug that spot. So
Yeah.
when everybody's healthy, you're hoping that things start clicking faster than week 5 or 6. And look, at the end of the day, you are 2-3, and you have a chance next week somehow to take the AFC East first place, which is hilarious to say out loud, but they
Good.
can. And if you win, you're right, Mike. The pendulum will swing. Everything's great. They're 3-3, but you need to do it. Like you basically said you believe in this team. You believe in the team to turn it around. And I think they're talented enough to do it. I do think offensively, it's been terrifying to watch because the defense has actually put together like 17 good quarters. Like they actually have 17 and 20
They've
good
been
quarters.
terrific. They were really good today.
So you keep saying like you think it's going to happen, and I think they have the team to do it. But the clock is ticking. Like if you blink and we're in week 9 and they're 3-6, like then you have to just change the tide now. And they had an opportunity today at
No,
the
they
end of
got
the
to do
game,
it.
and they didn't
Yeah,
do it.
you're 100% right. It's not been good enough. I'm not happy with what I've seen. It's already not, the Patriot game is already becoming the outlier.
Yep.
But it just feels like it's just off, and they have to, and they're gonna get it. I don't know what's up with the running game, Matt. They can't get a push. 14 carries, 36 yards is garbage. Brees looks like slow as molasses. Braylon Allen was the same thing today. At least Garrett Wilson played well. 13 catches and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
The offense did get something going in the second half. At least they didn't roll over and die. You had a chance to win that game in the end. And that's a big credit to the defense also. They played unbelievable. Darnold was not very good today. The run defense was much better today, Matt. But yeah, there are definitely positives, and I still feel like you go out there and you have Rodgers and all these guys, you're going to score points, and it hasn't happened really the last 2 weeks. It did happen in the second half today. They, the end of the first half, they scored right at the end, and then they scored 10 points in the second half. So something, but man.
Did you see that there was an AI generated image on Twitter that said that I thought the Jets would win by 10 points today? It's like going everywhere. Let's see how that. There we go.
Yeah, that was a good tweet. There's some annoying. Diana Rossini is tweeting that the Jets.
That's what bothers me too. So I don't go into every week saying the Jets are going to win. I think I've been pretty clear of that. Now, am I optimistic? Do I think they can beat any team? Yeah, when Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, you can beat any team. But I tweeted out my prediction is that they would win by 2 scores. And the reason I thought that is the NFL has a weird way of coming together to the mean. Like to really, the good teams fall back a little bit, the bad teams win. And you see that week in and week out. And I really felt like this was a comeback down to earth game with Minnesota. And the fact that the Jets were getting killed all week, that they would come out and play. That is called a prediction. And also that prediction is like a 4-1 odds prediction. It's not an easy call. It's like you're going to say, I'm trying to think of 4-1. Like Xavier Gibson's going to have a touchdown. Like it's a prediction. And people would reply, and I said that you could bookmark it. They'd be like, you're a fucking homer. You got green glasses on. And I'm like, I made a prediction, you motherfucker. Like I can be wrong about the game itself. And also call it out for being bad. I think the difference between you and I right now is I am equally as frustrated. You're putting it a little bit more on the players, which is fair. I'm putting it on the players, and I'm also saying, like, our offensive coaching staff is actually maybe the worst in the NFL. Like,
No,
truly.
I agree with that take. I just think the Jets can win despite them, and I don't think it's the only reason.
If you have to win despite your coaching staff,
But is it despite them? If you like, again, I'm going back to the sixth thing, the 5 reasons the Jets lost today. It was all just guys not making plays. Just make the play, right?
I'm with you, but if you, I know you're saying if your coaching staff is bad or has a bad week, this team is talented enough to bring them up and win. But if you have a team like that, the ceiling you'll get to is a divisional round of the playoffs. You cannot win games in January if your coaching staff is this bad. You can't. Like, you need
I
to
don't
figure it
I'm
out.
just trying to figure out how bad they actually are. I know it's been very tough, and they're like years. I don't like Nathaniel Hackett. I'm not. But how bad is it? Why? Like, why Lazard catch the football in the end zone? I just don't know what the limitations
Did,
are
did you see the Dan Orlovsky tweet?
of the fourth down play. I didn't really watch it.
It's basically Brown Allen was lined up 9.5 yards in the backfield.
That's far.
So like once he gets the ball, he's 7.5 yards, and then you have to ask him to get 24 feet to get a first down. Like that's maybe not the
Silly.
best play call. And again, if that play, if Lazard makes a block and John Simpson pushes a guy, he gets 3 yards. We don't even talk about it. So you have to put some onus on the players. Again, it feels like the offensive line gets no push. They didn't pass pro great. I also don't think there's also times though where Rodgers gets hit and he holds on the ball like a tick too long and he gets hit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was crazy. So he got sacked and I immediately walked to the bathroom. And then I saw your tweet that was like, "Oh my god, he's coming back in." Because
You didn't see?
I saw the
I thought he
block.
was dead, dude. It looked like he tore his ACL.
Yeah, so I go to the bathroom. I come back and I watch the roughing. So I
Which
saw
is also
Rodgers
a
like,
horrible call, by the way.
yeah, and that's where it comes back to the calls today. I can't reiterate enough. I don't think the Jets lost because of the officials, but did the refs insert themselves into a game? They
Yeah,
absolutely did.
they're
And the Mike
bad.
Williams play at the end is not PI. It's
It's
truly not
not.
PI.
But you called 5 against us. 5.
Like they were bad. They were really bad. Like
Dude, the
not even
Sauce one,
close.
the holding against Jordan Addison, he didn't touch him. The DJ Reed one, on the sideline against Justin Jefferson, didn't touch him. One of them, Justin Jefferson pushed off, and they called it on DJ Reed.
Sauce had an illegal contact like 15 yards down the
The
field.
ball's 40 feet over the guy's head. 40
were,
feet.
yeah, I tweeted out the refereeing crew like 3 times.
Yeah.
Not good.
Oh, sick of thinking about sad things. Just want it to work out.
Mike, I'll be honest. I can't. The Monday night game against Buffalo is going to be tough because, one, since we've gotten our season tickets, the Jets are like a 38% win percentage. But games that I don't attend, they're like 70%. It's a crazy stat.
Yeah. I mean, look, the bright side is, Matt, Rodgers could have gotten seriously hurt. It looked like he did, and it was like that's the end of whatever we thought we had. So he's not. He's going to play.
Yeah.
And you have a chance to go take the division lead. Like, it's exciting. So no matter what has happened so far, for people like us who like the roster and feel good about the players, maybe not so much the coaching staff, you're in a pretty good position as a 2-3 team. And let's get hot and let's put it together. And the team needed time to gel, and let's figure it out. And so I can stop arguing with people.
Who is the main culprit that you're fighting with?
It's no one specifically. I'm just annoyed at the overall mindset of the Jets. I have a couple of friends who are texting me annoying shit. People online. I just wish we were less follow the. You knew that no matter what happened, the Jets are 2-3. People are gonna freak the fuck out, and I get it. But I just wish there was more dialogue of, hey, like, this is good, this is bad. Instead it's just like Nathaniel Hackett's the worst guy ever. We suck. Rodgers is washed. Like, maybe have a different opinion than every other person. I feel it's a lot of following. It's a lot of community thought, and I'm getting tired.
I think you do a really good job of building the positive back forward.
I'm too much the other way too. I'm annoying and too positive, blah blah blah. And I always usually defend the guys in the team, whatever. But
I struggle, and I've done a good job not taking it personally. Like I think 2 years ago, I was like, if someone sends an insane reply to me, like I don't really care. I'll tweet out like I really wish we had a bye week coming up here instead of playing Buffalo.
Yeah,
Like a
I'm not like
normal.
mad at individual people.
No,
It's
but
not even like a guy tweets at me. I did say I am mad. There were some things that triggered me today. I'll be honest, but
but
it's not. It's not really like a guy tweeting at me. Like it was funny. I bet $25 on the Jets to win the Super Bowl after the game, and people are like, "You're so poor." Like, what? I'm like, who's betting more than $25 on like a Super Bowl future?
but
It's like plus
that's my
3,000.
point. We could tweet out like a normal tweet,
Yeah,
and like 5 of the 40 replies will be like, "Do you want Salah to be the head coach? Like you fucking asshole." And
yeah.
I'm like,
No,
wait.
that doesn't bother me. It bothers me when my friend texts me that. That is what pisses me
Well,
off.
I don't. I actually think
I hope
that
he's watching because he knows who he is, and I told him to go fuck himself. He's like, "Oh, I was joking." Like, all right, dude.
I think my friends and family know not to like make a random joke or a dig at me. They won't do
Okay.
it. Like I truly don't get texted. But no, but those replies on Twitter though, it's like people are like so out, so far gone that you
Yeah.
could tweet
No,
like,
that's
"Hey, I
for the
got
city,
engaged
whatever.
today."
Yeah.
And they'd reply and be like, "Yeah, well, the Jets ran for 34 yards. You're happy?" Like, I don't know, man. Like I'm just telling you. All
No,
right.
I get it. Listen, I just wish the overall thought. I said it too many times. I just wish it was more consistent and more conviction with the team. This is not the team to give up on after 5 weeks. Is the my overall analysis. This is not the team to give up after 5 weeks, and we're lucky that we're in the spot that we're in, where we have a chance to go play for the division on Monday night.
I do think Buffalo losing very long
Massive.
year, very long year. But I do think that could be something that Salah uses as like a rallying cry for the locker room, saying, "Hey, look, it's been a bad 5 weeks. We put together a flawless game on Monday night. We're right back in it. Not only are
Yeah,
we in it, we're leading it." That could be something that gives the juice to the team. Because Mike, if Buffalo right now is 5-0 or 4-1, and we're 2-3, and we get buried by them, like vibes could not be lower. Like
yeah,
now you have a chance to actually make some noise, and what happens is either you're gonna be right or the other people are gonna be right, and only one way we're happy, the other way we're all sad. So just hopefully you're right. Hopefully we bring it back. I am very much in the middle because I truly blame the players and the coaching. And there's been one consistent in 3 to 4 years, and I need Salah to get this team ready to play and win and be better than Kevin O'Connell, be better than Sean McDermott. Like, bring it for me and make it happen. And he has a prime opportunity Monday night because if they don't win Monday night, Mike, which is a tall task, right? They're going to be dogs at home against Buffalo. You're staring down a Sunday night football game against the Steelers. Then it's truly done if you lose that. So you got to. We said it last week. You can't lose the next 2 or 3, and here you
oh,
are.
I can't believe we're in this position. Doesn't have to be like this.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have Connor Hughes on this week because we have a group chat with Connor, and I feel like you and him were very different takes today, and I think we should
Connor is
bring.
listen. I love Connor, and I will say anything that I would say here to him. He's the king of reactionary takes. So I would love to have him on and debate him about it because it's frustrating. And listen, these are the people that are putting this thought fodder out there. It's like, so we'll see.
Let's bring him on. Let's bring him on like a Tuesday or Wednesday show. Let's talk about it. I
I'll be at
think.
the Met game, baby, Tuesday.
Oh,
The Mets have the worst schedule this week. Play at 5 o'clock every day. Yeah, we'll figure out. We'll hit him up. We'll try to get a good day for him to come on.
I think that was the most frustrated I've ever seen you on a pod before.
It was a little too much.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
It's just not right. This is the year, Matt. This is our year, and for us to be 2-3 with, like you said, this is basically a must-win game. If they lose this game, is a disaster. Now, it's frustrating.
Do
I'm
you see?
so frustrated. No,
I'm sorry.
what
I'm
happened?
laughing at a tweet. Somebody tweeted at me. Nobody takes you, Jet Homer's pumping Woody's agenda anymore. Good thing you sent that sandwich with the clown emoji.
We're pumping Woody's agenda because we want the Jets to sign Mike Williams. in the
Imagine
offseason.
if Woody Johnson texted or DM'd us or called us and said, "Hey
Yep.
guys, I'm a big fan of the Broadway Jets pod. I want you to be like shills for me. Just talk positive about the Jets. Don't ever hate it." I would say yes immediately. Like I would.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
do that anyway. Yeah.
We could do it anyway. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I could be bought. I could for sure be bought
Yeah. Yeah.
easily.
We should.
Easily. If there's a Jets
I would.
lobbyist out there that wants their takes, I'll just DM me. I'll
Maybe they'll go get Devontae and change the vibes.
Devontae wouldn't change it in the first 5 weeks. I really think they were so lost. Everything felt so.
Yeah, but you lost these 2 games by 1 score. I just Alan Lazard has 4 touchdowns. He made some plays. He's very frustrating.
It's weird though. Like I watch a game like the Texans Bills game, and there's just a guy like wide open in the end zone on like an in route. Like why can't that happen? And
Well,
it's funny.
Garrett did catch a
The
wide open.
The Garrett catch today was like a broken play though, kind of.
It was weird.
Like it was perfect pass blocking.
Yeah.
And then on the Alan Lazard touchdown, I almost thought he was gonna get hit and knocked out.
That was a great throw by Rodgers.
But
Rodgers made some bad throws today, though.
What pissed me off though is there's a play late in the game when they're driving. I think it was 2nd and 10 on the 40 on the game-winning drive. And again, I thought he missed that kick. I thought he was wide right from 41.
It came back, yeah.
It drew in, and Brees Hall is lined up on a linebacker outside, and the linebacker is playing 12 yards off. I want to go rewatch that play if it allows you to. In my head, I'm like, what if he just threw it? Immediate throw to Brees. The guy will get to him within 4 yards. One miss, he's going 25 yards. And instead, we have the back shoulder throw, or I guess front shoulder throw to Mike Williams. That was so.
Well, Lazard had a huge drop on the last drive, too. The first play of that drive was a 25-yard pass that Lazard dropped.
Yes, but then
it's a hard catch. Garrett caught it, but he could just do it the next play, and then you're in the 5-yard line.
I get it. We need a positive video next week.
I'm so angry. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
It just has to work. This one has to work. It can't not. They did the right things. It has to figure it out. They can't be 2-4 or 2-5. It's just not this team. It's not a 2-5 team.
Yeah. You sound like in Avengers Endgame.
All I was thinking about is Steve Rogers. Yeah.
He's like it has to work.
Because I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't. That's what I feel like.
Have a good night. I think that's where we end it.
That's it.
Fuck.